I've heard it said that September is the new January. Why a lot of people's kids are going off to school. It's a transition in our rhythms and routines. The weather is starting to change. We're moving into what becomes a holiday season. And so it's the perfect time to reset, restart, and set some goals so that you can finish your year fulfilled. Because September has become the new year, so many planners are launching their planners already in September. And because of that, I want to share with you today 3 things that I look for in a planner. Let's do this. I geek out talking about planners. And I'm so excited to talk with you about planners today. I want to let you know that I do have a 2026 planner coming out. And if you would like to be on the wait list, I'm probably just going to order as many as I need and maybe a few extra because money, y'all. But I'm really, really excited at the design. I'm excited to share it with you all. And if that's something that you're interested in, get your name on the wait list so that I can just get a sense of how many of these suckers I need to order. As a side note, I am a hybrid planner. So I do use Google Calendar. I sync that with Calendly. It's a really easy way to schedule with other people so that they can see when you have availability and when you don't. I hate kind of the 50 million back and forth emails trying to find a time that works for people. And so I just found that this works really well for me to coordinate with others. But when it comes to me managing my own chaos, trying to put together all of the different projects that I have at work, at the university, what grading do I have to do? What prep do I need to have happen? What writing do I need to get done so I hit this book deadline? When I am also navigating podcasting and podcast guesting and clients and retreats and speaking gigs, all of this can get wildly messy. Speaking of messy, I also have to manage my house. And, how am I going to feed my family? Where do I do my meal planning? When do my kids have early outs? When do we have Lego League? When do we have Ninja? When do we have all of the things? And so having a place though where I can write things down has been really important for me. I'm incredibly tactile. There's so much research that talks about the value of putting things in pen, writing things down on paper. And I have found that even though it doesn't take me a ton of time to take all my appointments from Google Calendar, write them into my planner, capture my to-do list, it doesn't take me but maybe 5-10 minutes a day. But the act of doing that slows me down enough that I have to start thinking about my priorities. Am I being realistic if my task list has 12 items on it, but I also have 6 hours of meetings today? Where what needs to get removed, what's reasonable for me to actually expect myself to accomplish today. And all of this has been wildly helpful to my sense of peace, to being able to feel like I can show up with energy, with presence, that I can be present because I don't need to keep this running to-do list in the back of my mind. It has its place. It's going to be there when I need it. And now I can pay attention to the people in front of me and give them love and care and space and attention. So, what exactly is it that I'm looking for in a planner? And I'll offer you how my planner meets some of those things, as well as some other options that might be on the market. I would love for you, love for you to get my planner, but I want you to have what works for you. And until I have some different versions out, you might need to go somewhere else to get something that works for the way that your brain works, and that's okay. So there's 3 things that are really, really important to me when it comes to a planner, because the best planner is the one that you're going to use. And I will say it might take you a little bit of time, whether it's a digital calendar, whether it's a paper planner, whether it's a hybrid system. You're first going to have to just commit to opening the darn thing up, whether that's on your browser or whether that's in your hands, and taking time to interact with it. So there is this component of first, I just need to create the habit, the practice of using the thing. And that might take a couple of weeks or a month even. And so when I think about a planner, there's 3 things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for layout. I'm looking for some place for reflection, and I care about the size. And I'm going to talk about those 3 things. So some people think that if you have the habit of using a planner it really shouldn't matter the layout. And I will tell you that I have tried. I have tried to make that a case, and I'm really, really good at actually implementing habits and consistency. It is one of the things that I feel like I have a strength around. And I have just found that if a planner is not in a layout that works with my brain, I will not use it. So, what I have learned about myself in terms of a layout is that I need to have a weekly view. And the reason for that is I need to be able to see my entire week at a time because I need to prioritize what I'm going to do on a daily basis by looking at my week as a whole. So, what is important today? It does shift a bit based off of what I know will be important tomorrow or the next day or the next day. So, for me, having a weekly layout is really important because that's how I tend to process things. I have tried daily planners, and there are some, like the Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt, that I really want to be able to use. But I have found it just drives me batty because I end up flipping pages all of the flipping time because I need to be able to think about things more holistically, and I need to be able to zoom out and then zoom in and then zoom out. And that's so much harder for me to do with a daily planner. So I know that I need a weekly layout. I also know that I need it to be some form of horizontal. I can do almost any horizontal layout. I really struggle with vertical layouts. So if you have Google Calendar, that is what a vertical layout is. It's going to have the hours. It's going to go up and down instead of, left to right. And it works perfectly fine for me for my appointments and my Google Calendar. For whatever reason, you shift that into a paper planner. I don't know if I write too big. I don't know if my brain just wants to look at a book and read from left to right. But for whatever reason, I don't love it and I won't use it. I will not use them. I've tried and tried and tried because there have been some layouts that like some planners that I really wanted to make work. And then it doesn't for me. And I've just like accepted that. My absolute favorite layout is actually one that has a series of lines, like notebook lines on one side, and then has check boxes, like a to-do list on the right side. And so you'll see this with one of my favorites is Emily Lay. She has a really great simplified layout. I also really like Golden Coil. One of their weekly layouts is in this format, and it is probably the one that I've come back to over and over and over again. And the Plan Goal Plan Your Year Planner, it is going to have that as well. For each day, you're going to have notebook lines on the left side, on the right side, you're going to have some check marks. And so what I like to do is pull up my Google Calendar. I write in my appointments on the left-hand side. Based off of my appointments, I go, okay, what can I reasonably get done today with my other commitments? And what needs to happen with what's due today and tomorrow and the next day so that I'm making progress on things. And so I usually write down my daily top 3 or my first 3 to-do items. And then from there, any other items that I need to pay attention to that day. I also love that it actually keeps it contained. If I start running out of lines for appointments, that is a sign that I have too many appointments that day and something needs to go. So layout is wildly important to me. I know that if I get a planner that does not have a layout that works for my brain, I'm not going to grab it. I'm not going to use it. And I've learned that through experimentation, and that's what works for me. That being said, I will say a majority of my clients, a majority of the people that I know really like the hourly layout. They like it to align with their Google Calendar, with their Outlook calendar, whatever it is that you use. But, I know me, and all that I ask is that you learn to identify what layouts work for you best. But my guess is that if you've really struggled to use a paper planner, you might try experimenting with different layouts until you find one that works with your brain. The second thing that I look for in a planner is some space for reflection. So for me, planning is so much more than time management. It's actually learning about myself. It's naming my priorities. It's thinking through things like what is working, what isn't, what do I want to say yes to, what do I want to say no to, Like, how do I live really fully? And how do I also live in a way that's moving my goals forward? And usually my goals are attached to my values and are going to help me live the fullest, most beautiful life possible. And so for me, I really want a planner that has some room for reflection. I look for a planner that at minimum has a monthly dashboard or a monthly reflection section or even a weekly reflection. Sometimes those can get a little too thick, which I'll talk about in a moment. The way the Plan Go Plan planners work is I have the Sense the Possibilities planner, and that's where you do all of your goal setting, you set your goals, and then it does have a monthly spread to kind of just keep track of how you're going to progress your goals month after month. But then it has quarterly, monthly, and weekly reflection questions. And what I really like about that is that's a place that I can journal, I can get all of that stuff out. But then in my Plan Go Plan Your Year, in the 2026 planner, it actually is going to have your weekly spreads, your monthly spread, and it's going to have your monthly review sections in there. So there's a little bit of reflection that can happen and planning that can happen in there. But if you want to do the really deep work, and maybe you don't want to take that to work with you, or you don't want to, like you don't want to bring that with you because it gets into all your juicy stuff, you have a separate book for that. So I wanted the 2026 planner to have enough reflection in it that you felt like you could do all of that in one. But if you wanted to dive deeper and put all of your journaling practice in another place, as well as do all of the work to set your goals, that's what the Sense the Possibilities planner is going to do for you. The two combined powerhouse work really, 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 really well together. And the final thing that I'm looking for in a planner is the size. And I realize that this sounds like it shouldn't matter that much. But what I've noticed is that if something is too big and unwieldy, like I'm not going to use it. I love Moxie Life. I love Sierra Friend is a really, I think, amazing human. I think what she's designed with Moxie Life planners is beautiful and smart and backed by a lot of research, the systems that she's created. But the planners are just, they're too much for me. The coils get in the way of my hand. I don't like lugging them around. And so I did try out the digital form, found out I need pen to paper. And so, size really, really, really matters to me. But if it's also too small, for a long time, I was using a Clever Fox planner. And there was a lot that I really loved about it. I had a week on one page, and then the other side, really kind of your weekly reflection. And I loved that I could have that all in one place. But it was almost too small. Like I was having to think creatively and use space in a creative way in order to even just get my to-do list out. And so getting the right size, something that feels good in hand and I could travel with and that isn't going to get in my way when I'm writing is so important to me. So, those are some of the things that I'm really looking for. These are some of the things that I thought about. I also thought about paper. I'm kind of a paper snob. I really like it to be fun, but still elegant. And all of these things are things that I took into consideration as I was creating the 2026 Plan Go Plan planner. And so I'm so excited to share with you. I hope a few of you all will decide to get your name on the wait list. Like I said, at this point, I just want your name. It's no commitment. I'm just trying to gather how many I'm going to need to order. And I love planners. I love that it's going to be planner season. I will probably buy other people's planners too because I'm curious. I like to play and I like to experiment. And it's kind of joyous for me. So happy January and September, y'all. Happy planner season. And until next time, be bold, be balanced, and be well, friends.